let's start. Hello, everyone. Just an introduction what Women Coding Community is all about. So, Women Coding Community provides you a safe place for women and allies of women to thrive in tech. What is our mission? To empower women and who support women to be at the forefront of the technology and innovation. Our vision is to achieve our mission. We run various programs and career tech events and workshops all along the year to support everybody in the tech. So as I mentioned, there are some amazing workshop and events like these keep on running. So if you are interested, you can visit our website. I'll share the link in the details below. Here is a quite glance of our code of conduct. So we are as I mentioned, it's a vibrant and supportive community. So if you face any discrimination and you want to raise these issues with the leaders of the community, here are some details. You can drop us an email, or you can find all the details of code of conduct on this link below. These are some of the projects that we run, like the mentorship program, book club, writing club, speaking club, career club, and more. And if you are interested to volunteer with us, you can scan this QR code, and you can also find all the details about how to volunteer within our Slack channel and on our website as well. So that's it from me. And for today's session, I would like to introduce some amazing women who are doing really, really amazing things. Stephanie and Helen from Raspberry Pi Foundation Code Club. And they are here to share with us what is an amazing initiative Coding Club brings to the table and how you can contribute and volunteer for that. Thank you so much. Over to you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And thank you for welcoming us along to your call tonight and for taking the time out of your evening to join us. So I'm Steph. I am from the Code Club team at the Raspberry Pi Foundation. So I'm one of the community managers there, focusing on London, East Anglia, and then everything south of that. So supporting our existing network of amazing volunteers who are already running clubs, but also helping new community spaces and individuals start new clubs in that area too. And my wonderful colleague Helen is also joining us on the call. I'll let Helen introduce herself and work out how to share my screen.
Thank you. Lovely introductions from both of you. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Helen. I am the community coordinator for the north of England. So I am the self-titled Queen of the North. I can't get that on my business card, unfortunately. They won't let me. But yes, so my job is similar to Steph's. I'm here to support the Code Club community in general, but with a particular focus on the north of England. So pretty much north of the Humber, south of Hadrian's Wall is my patch. But anything and everything Code Club is something is an interest and a passion. Back to you, Steph.
Brilliant, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to talk you through really what Code Club is all about, how you can get involved in Code Club, and take a little bit of a closer look at some of our key resources that we see used in our clubs a lot. So while I'm going through all of the information and the content, Helen is going to be looking at the chat, but please stop us at any time if you have any questions. And Helen, please jump in with your wisdom and knowledge as well as we go along if I miss anything out, because there's lots to cover in a short session. But yeah, I'll get started. Let's see. So as I mentioned, we're part of the Raspberry Pi Foundation. So we are a UK-based charity with a global mission to help all young people realise their full potential through the power of digital tech. So really that's all about helping young people develop the skills, the knowledge, the confidence and the mindsets to go and create and engage and challenge technology. So we really want to support young people to become creators with tech, not just consumers. And one of the ways in which we do that is Code Club. So Code Club is a global network of free coding clubs where young people come and create with tech. So it's a non-formal environment. We want young people to have agency over their own projects, decide what their interests are, and go and explore and have fun with technology in their own way. So where do they take place and when do they take place? Code clubs we see popping up in all kinds of spaces, and we love that because it means that no two clubs are the same. In terms of venues, we see them in community spaces like libraries, workplaces, maker spaces, youth clubs. We do have one that goes around on a double-decker bus, and we also see them in schools most commonly as well. When it comes to venues, they are so flexible because the list of equipment and resources you need is really quite small. So as long as it's a public, safe space and you have tables, chairs, power supply, if you've got an internet connection as well, that's brilliant. Then you've pretty much got a space for a code club. And typically we see them running for 1 to 2 hours per session. And the way in which they run is really flexible and up to the people who are running it. You know what is the best fit for your community. So school clubs, typically we see them running once a week. They fit neatly onto the end of a school day. Community clubs, we tend to see them less frequently, maybe once a month. And I think our volunteers who run clubs in community spaces tell us it takes about 2 to 3 hours of their time every month. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of indication. And the other thing to consider with venues is hardware as well. So some of these spaces might come with a handy box of laptops or iPads that you can pull out for a code club, or a lovely room full of computers. Others, you might need to go and source hardware from different charities, organizations, or invite young people to bring their own devices if they have them too. So code clubs are very flexible, but we do have a bit of a session model, if you like, that we ask people to get on board with. And that is to start your session with an icebreaker. So this is really important because we want young people to feel like they're there having fun. It's all about the social element. We want them to work together with each other. And if they've never met before, they're not going to feel like diving into a project together with people they don't know. So we have lots of icebreakers that you can pick up and use in your sessions to get the tone and the atmosphere set up for your club. The main chunk of the session is to create something cool with code, and that can really be anything. It could be someone coming along and trying Scratch for the very first time. It could be building an app, a website, making a game, playing a game that you've made, using microbits, any kind of physical computing. It really is down to what the young people are interested in and what you have available. And then a really important part of the session is to wrap up with a showcase. So this is like a show and tell session, really. And while code clubs are all about coding, they're also a really important platform to develop those personal skills as well, and outside of the classroom structure and the setting. So it's really about young people sharing and celebrating what they're working on and sharing their projects with their peers. And it allows them to practice their presenting skills, their communication, problem solving with their peers, and I love it. You always get parents saying to you that their kids are too shy to put their hands up at school and answer a question, but they are first at the front of the code club session ready to share their project because that is their passion, and they're really keen to show it off. So that's kind of a rough overview of what a code club session involves. How you do that is very different. I love seeing all the different variations of show and tells as well. There's some where everybody moves along 2 spaces and you play what each other have made on their games. Others do a bit of an interview at the front. You can get creative with all kinds of ideas. So who's involved? The young people who come along to code clubs, we call them creators. So code clubs are for school-age children. We say anybody 12 and under brings an adult with them. It's not just a free childcare. You're there as a volunteer to guide and lead a session. And it's also quite nice because the parents are definitely learning alongside the children too. Mentors. So these are the adults who help to run the sessions. So they might be giving prompts, guidance, a bit of motivation if young people are getting stuck. Depending on your venue, you might be setting up equipment or packing it away at the end. And then we have the club leader role. And this is more about coordination. So someone who's kind of making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time, connecting with the venue, maybe publicising, promoting the sessions that are upcoming, and getting everybody together. So a code club in action, I think the best way to actually go and find out what Code Club is all about is to visit a club. We obviously can't do that in this session. So at this point, I would usually show you a video, which is a fantastic video with young people talking about their Code Club. It shows you going to their Code Club. But on this session, I really wanted to share with you Yang's story instead. You still get to see a Code Club in action, but I think she's just such an inspiring volunteer, an inspiring lady, and she is all invested in Code Club to basically engage girls and women in tech. And so it's a really brilliant story. But so you don't miss out on the other video, I think Helen is kindly going to share it. So if you want to watch it another time, she's going to post it in the chat as well. But hopefully the sound is still working, and you can see how Yang got involved and how her journey has just gone from one level to another. She does talk about her club as a Coder Dojo. Just to clarify, we used to have another program and the Raspberry Pi Foundation, which was Coder Dojo. Code clubs and dojos now all sit under the same umbrella, so we are all the same thing. But let's see if our video plays.
My name is Yang Liu. I am originally from China, but now I live here in London. My current role at EY is a manager in technology consulting, Microsoft Business Apps team. I grew up in a city called Zhengzhou in the center of China. I studied journalism back in China. So after that, I did internship in technology-related news outlets. And I just felt like it's quite amazing working in tech. I often visit museums when I have spare time, and I know one of the museums, they have a Coder Dojo running, and I think, this is a good opportunity for me because I want to volunteer in the museum, and I also want to utilize my skills. That's where I started to explore where else I can run Coder Dojo, and that's where essentially I started at EY. I think our first event went really well. I think they had like roughly 15 families attend. That was one of the highlights of my whole life. I feel amazing. I just feel like I can't believe this actually happened. And I feel really lucky every time I run a session because, as you come before, we have so many volunteers who are actually helping. It's not only me, it's a collective effort from everybody.
Yang is my direct manager at EY, and she was always kind of advertising Coder Dojo, trying to get people to volunteer. So I did the first one when I joined, and I had a great time, and I just kept coming back. I think this is my 5th or 6th one thus far.
And then we're like a rolling snowball, and now we have over 100 volunteers who had at least volunteered once. We do try to focus on getting more girls involved with technology. For example, we run the International Women's Day Special and the Ada Lovelace Day Special this year, where we actually got over 70% like girls registration, and then the mentors, I think we probably can hit 70-80% of female mentors. When I grow up, I see my mom and not a lot of other females doing the job. I want them to think they are the best and that they can do this, be more confident.
I'm going to talk about Yang. I mean, it's hard not to talk about Yang. As a young girl, having a role model like her, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like. I would love to have had a role model like her when I was younger. She's so inspiring, she's so full of energy.
I think first of all, it helps me to get out of my comfort zone because facing a lot of children is a huge responsibility. I am by trade a consultant, but it's in a professional setting. Talking to children and teaching them how to code is something totally different. I'm not very naturally extrovert. I like talking to people, and I do sit in my comfort zone a lot. And I'm Chinese, English is not even my first language. It helps me to really challenge myself to do something bigger than I could imagine. I would like to be a role model for young girls now, because if they see I can do this, they will have a stronger belief that they can do it and they can do better.
Brilliant. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, thanks for the reaction. I would love seeing that video every time. Yeah, really inspiring story. And I think it's just so excited to see how much Yang is putting in, but how much she's getting back from volunteering at Code Club as well. And just to say, it really is a rolling snowball. You don't need 100 volunteers to start a Code Club. That is quite a rare one of a kind situations.
I couldn't stop myself telling that people have to shift their minds, especially in technology, that we have come to a point, it's not about we giving, it's about we learning. So we are learning so many skills. I can see that lady there and so many others in the video. And it's one of the opportunities, I think, for all of us who are like, want to become a leader, want to have this presentation skills develop, want to have more engaging skills. There are so much things to learn. So it's a give and take. I feel that you're giving what you have learned, and it's your time to use this platform, use this opportunity to give back as well, and brush up or improve your skills as well.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially as someone who isn't from a tech background. I am not confident with coding. I learn so much when I go, mainly from the young people, because they are way more advanced than I am. But yeah, volunteers can come from any background, and they'll all be learning something different from Code Club. And I think the more you get back, the more you enjoy it and want to go again. So yeah, it's important to focus on the reasons why you might want to get involved. And just wanted to share this with you as well, just following on from Yang's story and some of her reasons for getting involved and wanting to encourage more girls into tech. This is taken from our annual survey results this year, so hopefully she would have felt so rewarded when she saw the impact that she and all of our other amazing club leaders have had this year, just on how we're representing girls through Code Club and into the world of tech. So yeah, some lovely little quotes there as well, and some numbers that we're really proud of but would like to keep growing as well. And obviously, like you were saying, everybody's got their own personal reasons for volunteering, and why you might want to get involved with Code Club. And I just wanted to share with you, I was recently chatting to a couple of our volunteers who work at Tesco's headquarters. Yeah, you probably know these guys. So they go out on their lunch break and run a Code Club at a school local to their office. When I was just chatting to them about how, the kind of benefits that they've seen for themselves and also professionally, about sharpening up their skills and communicating what they know to different audiences. It's totally different talking to young people than it is people that they're used to speaking to in their office, and just how empowered they feel by kind of carving pathways for careers and a study that young people might not have known about if it wasn't for them going through the Code Club. So everybody will have their own reasons for wanting to get involved, and actually you might find some of the benefits that you feel were ones that you didn't even expect or didn't know would come through Code Club. So yeah, lots to celebrate there. But these are the kind of key themes that have come through to us from our volunteers at the moment. So moving on to some of our resources, you might have seen some of the projects that were going on in that video and in the video that Helen shared as well. They are our projects that the Code Club team provide. You're probably thinking these clubs are all led by fantastic volunteers. Where do we come in? We provide lots of free resources, support, events, training, workshops, and I thought I'd just take a little closer look at some of those key resources now, so you can actually see what we've got and how they would be implemented into clubs. So first up, we've got our coding projects. So I think there's just over 200 projects now. These are all free for you to use. All of our stuff is free. So yeah, we have lots of different technologies, every interest you could think of, all covered in our projects. They're all put together by educators in our learning team, and they are predominantly aimed at 9 to 16-year-olds, but it's not to say people outside of that age range can't enjoy them. It's mainly the kind of level of literacy skills that you might need to follow the instructions, because they've all been written out for young people to follow independently. So we have hundreds of projects. You can go on and find a project of any interest, any level, which is really exciting, but also slightly overwhelming, especially if you're new to coding or you're not quite sure where to start. So we also have a series of project pathways. So these are really helpful. It's a set of projects that you can follow, and it will help to introduce a new technology if you're introducing a new language. And also it provides a more structured learning journey. So if you want to see progress, maybe parents or the young people themselves want to see what they've accomplished and how they've progressed in a non-formal club, this is a really nice way to do it. So I have a little video which will give you a tour of our project's website. It goes so much faster than I can talk, so I will try and keep up with it. But this is what our projects look like in the pathways. So when you go in, you could choose a project pathway. You can see we have everything from Scratch to Unity to AI, microbits. We have a lot of Scratch pathways. They're really popular projects throughout Code Club. So when you go into a new pathway, you'll be able to find out any prior knowledge that you might need, any hardware or equipment, and what you're going to create throughout the whole pathway. And so the projects start off with Explore projects. So it's all about absorbing new skills, getting introduced to new ideas, and following step by step. You then move on to Design, and this is where you get a little bit more authority and make a few design decisions in the project. And then they always end with an Invent project, and this is where you come up with a completely own project, which is your own solution to a problem. So this is just a little closer look so you can see what our projects actually look like. When you one up, there's always a little demo. Oh, Helen. Hang on, my mouse.
I've just got a brilliant question, and I thought this might be a really nice place to do it. So I'm just going to put my response in. So Tammy has asked, like, do you begin teaching in Scratch and then transition to Python? And I thought, as we've got these resources here, that might be a good time to address that. So sorry for interrupting, but it felt like that was a good place to.
Fantastic, thank you. So really, it depends on the young people, and we can answer this together, Helen. As a club leader yourself, you'll be fantastically placed to answer this as well. But Scratch is, yes, the starting point really for most young people, and we have, I think, 3 different pathways through Scratch. It's Scratch, more Scratch, more Scratch, and then the jump from Scratch to text-based is the next one usually, but you might get older students who actually think that age appropriate, the kind of content of the Scratch projects is too young for them and they want to go straight into Python. It really depends who you have coming along and what they want to learn. But the thing with the pathways as well, you don't have to start one and stay on it. You can go along at any time and switch and change it up. But Helen, do you want to add anything to that?
I would agree. So my club, last time we ran, I had 2 little 6 and 7-year-olds who had no experience whatsoever of any coding, and they sat and went through some Scratch projects. Then we had a young man come in who must have been, I think he was 14, and he was coding in a language that I didn't recognise. It was a text-based language. He called it retro, which I thought was really rude as a middle-aged lady, but he was coding one of the old, I can't think what they're called, the old games. It was literally like a tennis game, and you had 2 old, and it went bleep, bleep, and he was coding one of those. So there was no point in me offering him anything. He was way beyond anything that I could do. And I think a lot of clubs will have that same variety. A lot of community clubs, it might be different in a school, but I think a lot of community clubs, you'll have a big range. And as tech people, you will be loads better at that than I was. I looked at what Hammy was doing and I went, great job, I'm going away. Don't understand
Yeah, no, thanks for that. And yeah, clubs all really do run in their own way. We have one in our office in Cambridge, and we tend to do it by theme every month. So we'll say it's space this month, and there'll be a beginner Scratch project, a Python project, maybe an AI one, all under the same theme, but different levels and different kinds of technologies. But yeah, it's really up to you to explore what works for your group. But yeah, with the projects, I'll go back and press play on the video. Yep, there we go. You get a little demo of what you're going to make, and you can see how the instructions are set out with images. Some of our projects now have video tutorials as well, so we know young people often prefer to follow a video instruction, but there's little prompts to test your projects along the way and save them, which is always useful. But that's what the projects look like in the pathways. Again, you don't have to follow a pathway, and you don't have to follow it all the way through. If you want to just go and let loose on the project site and pick from the hundreds that are on there, you can also do that. You can filter them, which is really helpful if you're looking for a certain interest or a certain technology or a certain level. Sometimes the young people who are more confident want to go in and do this and choose their own project to work on. But yes, you can pretty much find anything and anything on there, and we're always keen to hear new ideas of projects too. We also love to celebrate at Code Club. So alongside every pathway is a progress map. So this is a way that young people can track their progress through the pathway. They can put stickers, colour in every single project as they complete it. And there's a nice certificate at the end that you can print out and present them with as well. And special recognition certificates as well, which you can't see on there because they need to be downloaded. But here is a little sneak peek of what some of them look like. Again, you can access all of these for free. So in the top corner there, we've got the introduction to Scratch. This is the progress map that goes alongside the pathway, and you can see the little white circles there represent each project in that pathway, and so they can mark off and see how far they've got in their pathway and get a nice certificate at the end. You can see some of our other certificates there. If somebody's done really well at problem solving, it's just a nice way to celebrate and keep the motivation going with little rewards along the way. We also have lots of activities on the website and unplugged resources too. So if you need something, if you've got 10 minutes spare at a session, you can pull out some Python word searches or a bingo card. And if you're a community club that has younger siblings coming along, it's always handy to have some sheets like this available. And if people can't wait for the next session, they can take these home with them and have a look at them in the meantime. We also have lots of posters, template letters if you want to communicate out to parents or out to schools and let them know about Code Club. Advertise your club. We have lots on there. These are a couple of examples just to give you a bit of a flavour of what we have. We also have the Code Club platform. I won't play the video because I'm not sure how we're doing for time, but just to give you a bit of a rundown, we have a free platform, and every club, once it's registered with us, will have a profile on there. So that means if somebody's looking to come to a Code Club, they can go to our website, enter their postcode, and any clubs in their area will come up. You can, as a club, advertise any of your sessions so people can book on. You can manage your attendees, you can contact your attendees, send reminders, you can put out specific instructions. So if your club's actually just for a certain age group, remember to bring a parent, remember to bring a laptop. You can do that all through our Code Club platform as an event management tool. You don't have to use it if your venue or yourself, you have a preferred alternative, but it's there as a tool if you want to use it. I'll just quickly skip past the video there. So after the whistle stop tour, a bit of a whirlwind of Code Club there, hopefully you're wondering how you could get involved. So I know there's been a couple of questions in the chat there. Should I carry on talking about how to get involved, Helen, or was there anything else that's popped up before that?
That was the other question, was about
Ah.
how to get involved and how to be a volunteer. So that would be great. Thank you.
A perfect segue. Brilliant. So there are two ways really to get involved with Code Club. One is to join an existing club, and the second is to start a new club. So to join an existing club, you can go to our website and find a club near you. You can reach out to them. We have a QR code, but it's not beautifully branded like your Women Coding Community QR code. I was very jealous of that. So yeah, this will take you through to our website where you can find a club near you. You can get in touch directly, or you can contact me and I can help you connect with a club and ask if they are looking for any more volunteer support. We do ask that all of our volunteers, I think Helen's mentioned this in the chat already, have a DBS check in place. So that's best practice when engaging with young people. You may already have one. If you don't, we can provide that free of charge as a foundation. And also we ask all of our volunteers to complete our online safeguarding module. So it's about 30 minutes, I would say. It's a short training just to make sure all of our volunteers feel equipped and confident should they run into any safeguarding concerns, so you know what to do and how to respond. So that's how you can join an existing club. You might find that there are no clubs in your area, or you might have your own ideas and passion that you want to go and start a club anyway in your own format. So the way to do that is to fill in our application form. It is quite simple. You need a club leader, which can be yourselves. You'll need a Raspberry Pi account. There is a QR code there if you can't wait till the end of this call and you want to go and sign up for a club already. I would encourage you to register your club before you are ready to start, because it means that we know about you and we are connected and we can support you from day one. Don't feel like you have to go out and get everything together yourselves before you come to our team. We're here to support you already. So please, if you're interested and you feel like you're ready to be a club leader, or between, you know, you can share that role. You haven't got to take it on yourselves. Register your club, get a venue. Again, we've looked at some spaces that could be very creative venues, and a safeguarding sponsor. So depending on your venue, you will need to give a name of another individual, which is a safeguarding sponsor. In a nutshell, this is basically a reference check. So it's someone that says, yes, this person is who they say they are, and our space is a public space. It's suitable to run a code club. So it's usually someone who's connected to a venue or a workplace. It's usually quite easy to find somebody that's suitable for that. And again, the DBS check and the safeguarding module. So that's what's needed to start a club. In terms of registering with us. And you're not there to start the club on your own. We are here. There is our team in a lovely photo. So we are here. We have regular meetups, workshops, training online. We have monthly coffee and conversations where our global audience join, and they are just the experts. If you have any questions, they are the place to go and chat. We have a Slack instance as well where you can connect with other volunteers. Yeah, newsletters, blogs, it's all there. And the other thing, if we still got time to chat, you might be thinking, what am I going to do in my Code Club sessions throughout the year? If you run out of projects, which I don't know if anybody can, we have other programs within the Raspberry Pi Foundation that Code Clubs love to get involved with. You don't have to be part of a Code Club to get involved. But yeah, I'd love to share with you a little bit about Mission Zero, which is live at the moment. So this is part of our Astro Pi program. And we have a Raspberry Pi up on the International Space Station, and young people get to send their code to space. So the challenge for them is to design an image that can be flashed up on a little LED grid on the Raspberry Pi, and the theme of nature, I think it is this year. So yeah, we've got little chicks, penguins that young people have designed, and the code gets sent to space and flashed up for the astronauts to see all of these young people's images on the Raspberry Pi. young people then get a certificate back telling them the time and the location that their code was ran in space. So it's always yeah, a really exciting moment when you get that certificate back and actually know that it was ran in space. And the other program we have is Coolest Projects. This isn't a competition as such, it's more a celebration. So young people enter projects that they are proud of. This can be anything. It doesn't need to be a certain level. Anything that you have made that you are proud of goes in our online gallery, and you get feedback from our judges. We have guest judges every year, different people in tech and in different professionals from across the industry, and we have an online celebration and in-person celebrations, so young people get to go and meet everyone who's got the same interests as them and just show off what they've made, and it's just such, the energy is something else. I think with Coolest Projects, it's brilliant. So yeah, I think that's probably all I've got time to share for now, but next steps, please register a club or find a club. We are here to support you. You don't need to be ready to launch into things straight away, and keep in touch. We do have events online all the time. I think Coffee and Conversation, the last one's finished for this year, but we'll be back in January, and please feel free to reach out to me directly or the team if you have any questions or think of anything after the call and you haven't had a chance to ask now. But are there any questions that have come up now, Helen? Or feel free to take yourself off mute if you want to chat as well.
Yeah, so we have got a question. Would you like to say the question yourself? I can't.
About the SEN children who was. Okay. So really.
Hi.
There we go. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to connect. Yeah. I was just wondering because I know SEN children, they do require a lot of support sometimes. So I'm just wondering, is it just how you would give any other child a project to complete? Is it that's just how they will pick up things, or they will need like a special support to just get on with the projects themselves?
Yeah, it's a really good question. This comes up a lot actually, and I think there isn't one simple answer here because every young person is going to be different and have different needs. And so what I would suggest is really just taking the time to speak to the young person or their parents and carers and ask how you can best support them. It might be something as simple as sitting in a certain position in a room, being away from a loud place, a loud area, sitting with, less people around them. It might be actually that they're really, really above everybody else in terms of ability, and you can actually invite them to be a mentor because they've whizzed past the project and everybody else is still going. But yeah, I think like with any additional need or impairment, just speak to the family and ask how you can support, and encourage as well a parent or carer to stay with that young person if you think that's going to help. Additionally, we do have a guidance on how to make a guidance brochure on how to make your club as accessible and inclusive as possible, with little tips for different needs on there, whether it's a physical aid that's needed or neurodivergent young person. But really the advice is to speak to that young person and their parent and know how you can support them as an individual. Our booking platform as well does provide a space for parents to let you know of any additional needs, so that you're prepared before the session. It's not just we've turned up and it's just a surprise scenario. You can get to feel prepared beforehand if you use the platform.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's just good to know, because we expect just any child to come on because they're really interested, they want to learn, and some of them, we know they've got this need, and how we think of how do we actually support them. They don't get sent back because there's no help given to them. So that's what I just want to know. But yeah, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if there's anything, Helen, you'd add to that.
No, I think you had the absolute main point there, which is to talk to the young person and their family. And the beauty of a community club is that we do recommend for young people sort of 13, 14 and under that the adult stays anyway. So there is also, you know, it's not that the expectation is not necessarily that you are there on your own with 8 children with significant needs, because they should all have a grown-up with them, and you're there to facilitate the projects and the venue and all of that sort of thing. So just talk to them, like Steph said, talk to the child, the young person, talk to the family. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's a great question. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions at all? I'm trying to look in the chat. Anybody, any questions that wants to?
There was a question about the length of the onboarding process.
Okay.
I think you've kind of covered that, haven't you, in terms of doing it before you're ready to start, just because there's a few bits of admin to get through. But I think we've covered the rest of the questions. So if anyone does have one, feel free to chirp up or put your hand up. Or
Yeah, and just to add to the previous kind of comments and question, that it's just, please don't feel the pressure to have everything ready on the first session and know all of the young people who are going to come along that well. I think clubs build and grow, and you get to know if the same faces are coming back, how, you know, how best to accommodate people. I'm thinking of a club leader who recently, it does have some young people who've come along with some needs that they've expressed, and actually on the first day that they turned up, they didn't have any equipment in place that the parents have suggested because they didn't know. But actually the club now has different things like fidget gadgets and different fidget toys that has helped the young person to feel settled and calm, and there is no way as a club leader they could have predicted that in advance. So it's really about taking the time to get to know the young people and not feeling like you have to be prepared for every scenario before it's happened. Yeah, brilliant. I just heard the chat popping, but it's somebody saying thank you very much. Brilliant. If there aren't any other questions, I think that's the end of our presentation. Yeah, anything else you'd like to add, Helen? Anything I've completely missed from the
I can't think of anything. Oh, one thing I would suggest if you're starting your own club is don't be afraid of social media. So I've set up a Facebook page for my club, and mine's a very new club. We're building on the foundations of one from years ago, but it's a very new club. And so we've got a Facebook page, and that's getting us some traction in the local community. So as we build on that, I'm hoping that that's going to be really helpful in terms of, it's already got us some donations of equipment. So yeah, don't be afraid of the socials. Put it out there and shout about all the brilliant things that you do. That will get you volunteers, might get you equipment, it'll get you known. So that's just a little tip.
Absolutely.